Monday. So I am waiting for my co-host to come in. Today is September 15th, and this month is literally flying by. I am excited, but a little bit overwhelmed at the same time because when we get into the month of September, then we know October, November, December. So then it's like holidays is coming up, and yeah, it gets real. It gets real. I don't know about y'all, but holiday season is so busy for me. So yeah, I have to brace myself for it. I'm not sure if you guys have been following along, but yesterday was hubby's birthday. So that was a full day event. So I always try to um plan, try to make it grand or big, especially when it is weekend time. It's a little difficult when his birthday falls like on a weekday, and then we'll do like a nice dinner and such. Um, hey, House of X, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. I'm good. How are you? How are you? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I was just talking about how my weekend has been going so far. While waiting for my co-host to join in, she had quite an eventful day. For me, it was very eventful yesterday, because as you know, my husband's birthday was yesterday, and I appreciate the shout out. You know, I always love the birthday love. Oh yeah, yeah, the back to school thing. And you know what? I had went on the link that you had sent, and I was like, okay, I gotta order some stuff. And when I say I got sidetracked and never went back in, so I am so sorry. Yeah, I had meant to get some things uh to contribute to that. Yeah, I appreciate the birthday love. I appreciate the birthday love. Yeah, it was quite the event. It was an eventful day yesterday. I was just talking about how when his birthday falls on the weekend, I try to like do a lot, like have like a whole itinerary, to celebrate. So yesterday was like a whole itinerary. We had a full day, of things going on. So I did vlog, so I'll be dropping a vlog soon about our whole event and the eventful birthday celebration. But it was very, very, very busy, long day. And not to mention, you know, I work all week, because I teach the little ones. So that was a very busy week. And then I had to prepare for yesterday, to, have my husband entertained and enjoy his day. Pick up. When you name an email as put for pickup and store near us. Okay, okay. So if I leave my name and email and put for pickup, okay. Okay. Hello, hello, welcome in. Yeah, so whew, I am trying to recover because it is back to work tomorrow. And it's gonna be a very, very interesting week. I already got a little heads up as to how my week is going to be in the classroom. So I definitely, definitely have to get my mind right. But I am hoping that everyone in the chat has been having a good day. and a good weekend so far. We're having a good day and a good weekend. So, yeah, but I am excited to talk about something that I am a big, big advocate for. Very big advocate for. Um, okay, thanks, House of X. I got your link. I'll look into it a little later. Thank you so much. Um, well, I am a big advocate for self care. A big advocate for self care, and I realized that self care is actually National Awareness Month in September. So I was like, who knew? Who knew that they actually set aside a month for self care awareness? Um, they do have another one that they call just self care month that actually takes place from June 24th through July 24th. And then they ended with like International Self Care Day. But they have two different types. Yes, House of X, it is a must. And we are going to get into self care. Like I said, I am a huge, huge advocate for self care. And September is National Self Care Awareness Month. So if you have not done anything for yourself this month, start now. You got the rest of the month to do so. So they say for this month of September, they have lots of ways that you can actually celebrate, for self care awareness. So they say connecting with loved ones is a good way to practice self care because it says you make plans to like spend with someone either in person or virtually that that's the way of self care because self care is connected into like mental health. So doing something that makes you feel good is a way of self care, and like it says, connecting with someone that you care about is a form of self care, right? So also like unplugging devices. So I am guilty of not really unplugging my devices, but they say that self care is a part of unplugging your devices, that setting stuff aside for time to disconnect from like the screens and like reconnect with yourself and others. We are in a day and age where technology is a part of our norm, our everyday day life. Like we literally cannot live without our technology. Which you gotta have your cell phones. You gotta have your tablets. You on your computers. Like you get engulfed in like TV and stuff. But they say that you should unplug and disconnect from that. Just taking time to reconnect with yourself. Self care. Um, Practicing gratitude. So that's interesting because we were literally just having a conversation about gratitude, practicing gratitude, like taking time each day to reflect on what you are grateful for. That is huge. Yes, I see. I see that you are in agreement with that, right? House of X.
Ah,
Hey sister. Hey sister.
yes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we
Out
have
the
a
back, how y'all doing?
yes, we have a few folks in here. So I already just started off talking about our self care because we're going to be touching on self care as Self Care National Awareness Month for September. And
Nice.
I was talking about the different ways you can practice self-care. Like one, I started out with connecting with loved ones, whether it's virtually or in person, because that's a form of mental health. And sometimes connecting with someone that you love is like self-care because it's good for your mental, right?
Indeed.
Unplugging your devices,
Oh
which I
yeah.
talked about me being guilty of not really unplugging devices, because our day and age of technology where we gotta have a cell phone.
Right.
You're browsing, you're on social media, you're on your tablet, you're on a computer. They said sometimes unplugging from those devices is a way of self-care. Just to dis-
Definitely.
just to like disconnect from the screens and reconnect with yourself, and other
Right.
people, because a lot
Right.
of times technology can really get in the way of that, you know.
Yes.
So I was moving on to like practicing gratitude.
Oh
They said,
yeah.
yes, they said taking time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. And as you were coming in, I was talking about, we were actually having a conversation about that at work, about gratitude and little
Hmm.
ways to be grateful for something. You know how when you always dwelling on things, oh my God, this is not going right, or I'm having such a terrible day. It's instead of focusing on what is going wrong, focus on something that's going good. You know what
Right.
I mean? Think of like the little things, like for one, waking up in the morning. Be grateful.
Hmm.
Some people didn't get to see another day.
Right.
It could somebody
Hmm.
smiled at you this morning.
Having
That's
your health.
having your health. It's so
Yes.
many different ways to be
Hmm.
grateful. So they say practicing gratitude. Welcome in, welcome in. To everybody that's in the chat, I appreciate you for coming in. Yes,
Love, love, love.
right now we are talking about gratitude. Oh yes, release with love and realign. Count your blessings. Love it. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. Taking being grateful for the small things, the little things. And
Mhm.
if you can keep like a record, just write down something throughout your day that you were grateful for. It could be the smallest minute thing. The smallest minute thing. You know what I mean? And you'll notice like how gratitude is like racking up. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God,
Mhm.
like this was so small, but that was nice, and I was grateful for that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, but they said that's a, a way of self care, just being
Yes.
grateful, practicing
Yes.
gratitude, right? It's like
Yes.
it's how we just big on self
Attitude of gratitude.
of gratitude, right, right,
Yes.
and it said, and doing something good for others is a way of self care.
Yeah.
Small acts of kindness can boost your endorphins and brighten your day.
Wow. Mhm.
Just doing something good for somebody, you
Mhm.
know? So that all ties into like being grateful, like just that feel good moment. Just say, oh, wow, like we actually had a moment to reflect on that. Like I said, like we be talking about that, right?
Mhm.
Um, about what did you do for someone. It could be simple, like I see somebody struggling and I held the door open for them today.
Mhm.
Express some kindness. But that makes you feel good. It's kind of like that trickle down effect, like just seeing somebody giving you a warm hello and a
Yes.
smile make you feel good, and it trickles to somebody else, then you give us a warm smile and hello, and it's like a trickle down effect. But that
Yes.
just like that all like plays into like your mental health, like having a good day and sharing a smile or something like that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Another one, learning to say no.
No. Setting them boundaries for yourself.
Practically saying no.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
That is self care.
Woo, that is self care.
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
because people will pull you, and it's like, so we want to do things for others and stuff, and sometimes you do so much for other people that next, your glass is empty. You like, dang, I mean, your energy is feeling depleted because you done gave it all away, and so it's like, you gotta know to be like, no, you know what I'm saying, because you gotta maintain your peace, you gotta protect your peace. Self care is about protecting your peace.
yes, they was like prioritize like projects that you've been wanting to do for yourself.
Yeah.
Do things that give you joy and excitement. I have been so guilty of not saying no.
Uh,
I've been so guilty of
yeah.
not saying no. I have
Mhm.
gotten better with it. But I don't like to like really disappoint people, and I feel like if you're asking me for something that you really need it, but
Mhm.
ever I have learned that me saying yes so much opens the door to it always being expected.
Mhm.
Um, People start to take it for granted. Like,
Right.
okay, if I need something, she's going to always come
Because
through.
she's
She's going to,
nice.
because she's going
Because
to say
she's
yes,
nice. Oh,
and
she'll do it for me. You
she'll do it
know.
for you. Right. And that's
Mhm.
how, and that's just saying like they take your kindness for a weakness, right?
Yeah.
Your kindness for a weakness. And it's like,
Mhm.
I definitely don't consider myself a weak person. I'm just a kind
Mhm.
person. But
Right.
people can tend to take advantage of that. You know,
Mhm.
they take your weakness for a kindness and they try to play on that. You know, so I
Mhm.
have learned to say no and try to set boundaries, because
Right.
when I start notice the habit for me that
Mhm.
the same people are asking and pulling from me, and I'm feeling depleted and feeling obligated to say yes.
Mhm.
But when times shift, the same people are not showing up for me.
Right.
So that's when
Right.
I'm like, okay, this is definitely one sided. But I can admit it does take me a while for me to like catch on and see it, because I want to see the good in people, especially people that I care about.
Right.
And
Right. We got that kind of heart.
right, like if I care about you, yes. Hey Lisa, thanks for coming in. Yes, take
Mhm.
your kindness. Right, absolutely. So I genuinely want to help people and do what I
Mhm.
can, you know. But sometimes you can't do that for everybody.
Right.
There for
Right.
everybody. And I'm learning
Mhm.
it. And I came to a moment probably like a couple weeks ago when I really sat down and reflected and said, sometimes I need to take that time for myself, just like for my mental, right? And I just
Yeah.
was thinking about um, people around me, different situations, um,
Mhm.
feeling depleted at certain times because I gave so much of myself and didn't take the time for me. And then I was like, where are those people at now?
Right.
People at
Right.
now. Like I really had like a coming to Jesus moment. Like,
Right.
I was
Uh-huh.
like, I spent
Yep.
like a week, 2 weeks really helping and pouring myself into certain individuals to where I didn't
Mhm.
take any time for me. I was so depleted. And now that I poured so much and they're good, they're in a better space because I gave up my time
Mhm.
to them. Now I don't hardly hear that fear from these people anymore.
Right.
Like that's like when the last time I talked to them. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
but wow. I was like, duly noted.
Uh-huh.
Duly
Exactly.
noted. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so now it's gonna be them times when these individuals come around and it's gonna be like, oh, I need this, I need that, expecting me to pour into them again. It's gonna be that no moment.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna feel comfortable with it.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna feel bad about it.
Yep.
And it's gonna be one of those boundary setting things for me.
Uh-huh.
Setting the
Yep.
boundary, setting the
Yep.
boundary. So what they were saying,
Mhm.
this is September, they said self-care awareness month is a good time to remind ourselves to take care of ourselves,
Yeah.
right? First and foremost.
Yes.
It's essential. Self-care is often neglected in our
Mm-hmm.
everyday lives, we are tend to put others' needs before our own, right?
Yeah.
And it's crucial to remember that we cannot fill another cup from our own empty vessel.
That's right.
I
That's
was
right.
like,
Because you empty, you
wow,
can't do nothing for nobody, not even yourself. You out here empty.
we out here empty. And I had so many empty moments, like feeling so depleted,
Wow.
feeling so depleted. And they said sometimes you need to put yourself first.
Right.
Need to put yourself first.
Yes, it's
To be,
important.
yep,
Even when you get on a plane, you know how they tell you, you put your mask on and then you help the person next to you. Like you got to put your mask on first.
yeah, yeah. They saying like that. That's the good way. That's a way to be better for yourself and others. Because like if you're so depleted, how are you going? If you're not good to yourself, how are you going to be good for others? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And sometimes we tend to like do things backwards. Like I just gave an example of just pouring so much into
Yeah.
other people. Pouring so much,
Right.
and then when I need time for myself, I'm so exhausted and drained that it's like I can't even do what I need to do for myself.
Mhm.
So they said it's very important of self care for your mental health, and
Yes.
it's like how that all ties in. Mental health really ties into self care. You know,
Mhm.
you know how we always talk about like doing stuff um, to make us feel better, and
Mhm.
like so, like for your mental, like I tend to take those mental breaks, like
Mhm.
um, just doing little simple things, like just sitting in my she room,
Yeah.
sit there and just look around the room, just like be grateful for my blessings. Just take that time for myself. Like I would literally just close the door sometime and just sit in my
Yeah.
silence, sit in my quiet.
Mhm.
Um, for me, taking like a nice bubble bath and just
Right.
sit and soak with the candles running. And just sit and silent.
Mhm.
You know, doing going to the spa. You
Yeah.
know, getting pampered
Right.
is a good way for self care. It's like when people think of self care, they don't think that's good for your mental health. Good
Yeah.
for your
Mindfulness. Mindfulness
mindfulness,
is self care.
mindfulness
Yeah.
for your mental health.
Mhm.
Right. So like they also have, like a thing where they say you should like set goals for yourself.
Yeah.
Setting goals for yourself is a
Mhm.
good way to practice like self care. Um,
Mhm.
like finding something that makes you happy, and then
Yeah.
start with a small goal or doing that activity like every day.
Mhm. Yeah, tapping into your creativity, your self-expression, sometimes too, because it's like we have these different ways of kind of closing ourselves up,
Mm-hmm.
and especially sometimes people that live alone,
Mm.
too. It's like like that mind, body, soul connection becomes really important,
Mm-hmm.
because being able to tap in those different ways, what I mean, because it's like you solely depending on yourself, what I mean, for that comfort and stuff, what I mean, for your self-care. So your meditations, like you said, your bath, your exercises, your proper eating, um because I know some people, like, like when they think about feeling better, they think about running to grab a drink.
That part.
You
That
know what I'm
part.
saying?
Yes.
I know
Yes.
some people, it'd be like, oh, what I mean, I'm about to go get lit, what I mean, and stuff like that. I had a long day at work, and it'd be like, wait, pause, like, hold on a minute, what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's like, it's a lot less self care, and it's a little more self harming. What I mean,
Mm.
when you go in that
Right.
direction, so. But yeah, but that's why, Mika, why I appreciate what you're doing so much and stuff, what I mean, because it's a message, and it's knowledge and it's information, and sometimes it's things that people don't think about, you
Right.
know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like proper self-care. You know
Right.
what I mean? Giving yourself, good attention, and
Mm-hmm.
like that self-love and stuff, and you know yeah, it's like it's making you better for yourself and better for the other people that are around you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? When you tapping in, getting tuned in, and it's like, you finding your balance, and you finding some clarity, and it's like, when you loving yourself, what I mean, you're not running around all angry and stuff all the
A-
time. And what I mean, it's
Absolutely.
like when you got that attitude of gratitude and love and stuff, what I mean, it just be seeming like things be working out better for you. You find it's more divine synchronicity and the timing of the situations and the people that you meet, and the circumstances that you find yourself in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have that better attitude, so you're
Yeah.
attracting, better situations, and more love, and more things for you to continue to be grateful for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. The law of attraction.
The
The
law
law
of
of attraction.
attraction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Like you said, just feeling good, and you could tell when someone is feeling good, because that energy will kind of radiate. It's like how
Mhm.
they say laughter is contagious. Like you can see
Yes, and
someone laughing and
smiles.
smiling, and you be
Yes.
like, "Oh my god!" Like they so happy. Like, okay, it sometimes makes you want to smile. Like if
Yes,
you have
yes.
that
So the
down
smile is
energy,
a smile in every language. A
right?
smile is a smile in every language, you know.
Every language, every language. Yes, yes. So it's like when you talk about self care, it comes in so many different forms. So many different forms.
Right.
Like you
Hmm.
could do self care grand. You could do self care simple. Self care could
Right.
be just sitting. Say, I'm gonna put my feet up today.
I'm gonna be out in the sun today. Give
Okay.
me some of that good loving energy from this
Okay.
universe.
Okay. 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 Yeah. So like I'm saying, like, okay, how I just talk about how like I might just sit in my room and just in the quiet. I
Yes.
so in the tub in the quiet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I might say, okay, I want to go get my nails done. That's a point of self care. And you know what else
Mm-hmm.
was a good thing for self care that
What?
it didn't even click to me
What?
when I go to the gym.
Yes.
It's like I'm like, oh my god, like I actually feel good when I do
Yes.
that. Like
Yes.
I be having sometimes the roughest days, child. At
Mm-hmm.
work, I be like, Lord Jesus, I feel like I done got beat up, beat down in the fight.
Yes.
But it be like my body be saying, girl, just go home, rest, put your feet up. But the other part of my mind be like, no, you have a routine.
Mm-hmm.
Go do your jump, go walk in the treadmill, like go do your 30 minutes, go do your 35 minutes. And it's like
Yes.
this my body saying, no, I don't feel like it, I don't want to, but my
Mm-hmm.
mind is saying, go do it. And then I be feeling so good. Like I was like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, who knew this was my mental therapy? Just
Yes.
or getting on the
Yes.
elliptical. I call it my mental therapy, like literally. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
I just get into my zone and I'm
Yes.
just walking on the elliptical. And I was like, oh my God, I always end up feeling so much better. I was
Yeah.
like, who knew that this was my therapy?
How about that? How about that? They say exercise is an antidepressant. It's like it raises certain hormones in our body that, deal with like accomplishment and just some other stuff, but exercise is excellent. Yes. Yes. An excellent way of self healing, self
It does
care.
care.
Did my screen go black on your end?
Nope. It looks good. I can see you loud and clear. I can hear you.
Oh, wonderful. Because my battery is low. I've been
Uh
out
oh.
all day at this other event, Mika. Yeah, and so I'm realizing I don't have a lot of charge on my phone. I was trying to charge it up, but I didn't have a charger earlier. We were charging in the car, but I'm hoping that it lasts a little bit longer so I don't lose you guys right away.
Yeah, yeah, you were talking about your day. Yeah, because we're talking about self care, but you did a lot of practicing for others today,
Yes, I
and their self
did.
care. So you want to talk a little bit about that? I'm
I
excited.
sure will. So the Healing Haven Hut. Um, they are out in West Philadelphia. It's like a team of healers. And well, she
Mhm,
brought me in today. As one of the, as a healing practitioner because I do the sound healing therapy.
mhm.
And so they was also doing reflexology and massage, and they do Reiki and stuff, which I also do Reiki. But in something she was offering this to the elders in the community, what they calling like the I guess like hometown heroes kind of thing.
I'm
So it
down
was
here.
lovely. It was a small event, what I mean, but we definitely had, a nice good amount of, the elders come through and get some healing, some reflexology. We did a meditation with them and stuff. She did the prayer. We did some affirmations. Just really, trying to help people, to calm down and release, some of the old energy and because when you're releasing that old energy, you're making way for your blessings. You're making way
Mm,
for new, new energy. What I mean? Because in things, the only thing that's constant is change. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? What I mean? In our
yes.
body, we're constantly changing, and things are constantly moving and regenerating, reconstructing,
Mhm,
repairing and stuff. And even when you're sitting down in your meditation, just giving yourself even 10 seconds, what I mean, of
mm,
just like, some breathing and stuff. That's self-care. So like you were
mm.
saying, these different ways to get self-care, what I mean, really just taking a moment and being in your peace.
Being in
What?
your peace.
Being
Yes,
in your peace. And
in your
what I
peace.
mean, I remember this woman said to me, I put it in one of my songs, so nobody try to take.
Uh-oh, I think we lost her, guys. Yeah, she just froze up on us. Yeah, so but she had did a event today, um, all about helping and healing, as a form of self care, with the elders and stuff. Like she's very big on doing that. Like she was saying, she is Reiki certified, and she is the go to for any like challenges that you're having and things like that. Good for like mindful meditation, um, energy healing. We did our segment last Sunday about energy healing and how they are different forms of energy healing, and she specializes on in different parts of energy healing. Um, yeah, but like one of the things that she was just talking on was about meditation. Now, meditation, believe it or not, is a good form of self care. So I always, before I come to you guys with anything, I just always kind of like do my research on it and just talk about my experiences and ways that I do, certain things, whatever the topic is for that Sunday. Um, but they were saying like try meditating, like try meditating. Um, just says sometimes many people can go an entire day without complete silence, and having complete silence sometimes is a good way for self care because you're doing something for you. Um, Sometimes you can just while you're driving in your car turn the radio off. Turn the radio off. Like you don't need to always be in the car with the radio blasting or going. You could turn it off. Because sometimes having things running or constant like noises can distract you like from your thoughts. And sometimes you do your best thinking um when you don't have like those distractions around. You know, the meditation is a way like to take time and like center yourself, right? They even have like different apps that you can like download and stuff that can help you with meditation and stuff like that. Like even if you just take a few minutes a day to meditate, and it helps you focus on yourself. Um, so I always talk about like mental health and self care. So I'm just giving you ways to practice self care. Sometimes, like I always say, like we neglect ourselves, but your mental health is so important. And taking that time that you need. And another way to do self care, they said checking on a friend, or a loved one. Um, do you know that when you like check on other people, especially like good friends and family, people that really you know are important in your lives, that it's releases like endorphins and stuff like that and stuff, because it makes you feel good that I checked on someone. And you never know when somebody could use that phone call, or could use that random act of kindness, um like doing something good for somebody, especially with the pandemic. Like we are like pretty much recovering from the pandemic. I mean, we're not like totally out of the woods, but we are really starting to get some type of norm. But do you realize that some people still have not recovered from the pandemic? Um, and a lot of mental health issues came out of the pandemic. So because of that, some people haven't gotten back into the norms of caring for themselves, taking time that they need, practicing that self care. So just checking in on someone, just to see if they're okay, see if they need something. Um, taking them out. Let's just do something. Like I was just literally having this conversation with my husband yesterday, as a matter of fact. So for those that just tuned in or that doesn't normally follow, so it was a big celebration for him yesterday. I love celebrating him, um taking that time out, putting everything else to the side and making it about him. So we spent the whole day out, and it was just a lot of us having time for fun, to reconnect, do something different, um, explore, see what's out there. We did things that we enjoy doing, but we don't get the opportunity to do a lot. And I said to him, I said, honey, we always, do these special grand things on occasions, whether it's your birthday or it's our anniversary and things. I said, we need to make more time to do these things outside of a special occasion. We really enjoy it, but we get caught up in the monotony of our everyday lives, how our weeks go, our weekends. I said, you do your normal, go to work, weekends, getting together with the band. Um, for those that don't know, my husband does have a band. That is like his world outside of us. um, that band is like his life and what keeps him going. So he really doesn't go too often without getting together with the band, perfecting their craft. And for him, that is his form of therapy, that is his form of self care. Like he really needs that. He really needs that. And I never ever get in a way of him doing what he needs to do for him, because I do what I need to do for me, whether it's, taking my time out, going to get pampered, having quiet time in my she room or wherever. I take that time out. So we definitely respect each other with knowing that we need our quiet time and our time to ourselves. But I was literally was just saying them, like, we have to do more of things that we don't normally do, outside of an occasion. Instead of doing our normal routine, I'm always on the weekends getting ready for my week. I do color weeks. So if you haven't followed along, that makes me feel good. To me, that is a form of like my self care. Doing like a color week, it makes me feel good. I always plan ahead for the week. I will pick out my color. So that would consist of a whole week of the same color, and but I do it in different forms. Like, I do it in a creative form, just to like show you different ways that you can play with colors. Because I love to play with colors. So you will see me pull tricks out the hat with certain outfits. Pull different colors out. So that will consist on the shoes that I incorporate, the handbag. But that's, for me, that's a form of self care. That makes me feel good. Just being able to do something for me that makes me happy and brings me joy. So self care is all about bringing yourself joy, doing something for you, something that's healthy and happy for you. And it can be the littlest minute thing, but it is a form of self care. Like, I always commend and tip my hat out to people when I see, like, somebody just taking a walk, or they decide, oh, I want to go bike riding today. Like, that is a form of self care and taking care of yourself and your needs and things that make you happy. So, in honor of September being National Self Care Awareness Month, I just wanted to kind of like touch on that, and saying, like, back to doing something good for others. Like, you can write a note to like a coworker or something like that, and we are big on doing that at work. Like, every now and then we'll write a note of what I appreciate about you, a random act of kindness, just people hearing um that you're grateful for them, or that they're doing something good and you wanted to give them some shine for it, can really make someone's day. It makes you feel better just because you acknowledged it and gave them that special shout out. So we are big on doing it, just writing a note saying, you know that was, you did something great, you rocked today, I just wanted to give you shine and let you know that I noticed, stuff like that. Um so paying for somebody in the drive-through, like, it's a way of being self-care, believe it or not, because um it reduces like endorphins. Like, we keep talking about reducing endorphins, but when you do good, it makes you feel good, and it releases a special type of endorphins when you do good, which is all tied into your mental health. So you can be driving in the drive-through and say, hey, I see somebody behind me order something, I'm going to pay for their meal. And just doing that random act of kindness, releasing something inside you, you know, and which is all tied to self care. Like, sometimes we get caught up in that self care, I got to do something grand, but just being kind to somebody is a form of self care because it does something to your mental, okay? And it makes you feel good. And when you feel good, um you're actually having a better state of mind, you know um except like baking something. So I'm not a big baker. I used to back in the day, did love to bake, but it wasn't like just to be doing it. Like, I'll randomly say, okay, I'm gonna bake a cake or something. I'm not one of those big bakers, and my kids always tease me because they say, Mom, when you gonna settle down and be one of them baking grandmas, be in the kitchen baking them cookies and stuff like that. It was like, that is not me. That is not me. I was like, just because I am a Gigi, I'm a Gigi that wants to live her best life. You know what I mean? So I'm out. I'm being adventurous. I'm doing things for me. I'm doing things that I love to do. And I'm big on family. I'm big on spending time with the grands, but I definitely like taking time off for me. So for me, being in the kitchen, being that baking grandma, just making everything about being in the kitchen. Not sure when that's going to actually happen, if it happens, and I definitely took my hat off to those that use that as a way to feel good, baking and things like that. Because I just have a different way of doing what makes me feel good. But they said that baking sometimes is just sharing. I'm just feeding someone, is a way of self care because that makes you feel good and it releases endorphins. Just to see that you're bringing joy to someone else through something that you baked or cooked and share with them. Um, Doing a chore for somebody. So that kind of goes back to what I talked about a little bit in the beginning. Like I found myself helping um, people out or, individuals, I'll say, that I see that they needed help or were overwhelmed or something. And I would put myself to the side and say, okay, I see you need help. I'm going to go and do a chore for you, help you out with something just to relieve the pressure and stress off of you. I see that you're overwhelmed. So I want to do what I can to relieve some of that stress and pressure off of you. And it definitely makes me feel good to do that. It definitely do. I'm gonna start by saying that. It definitely makes me feel good to dive in and help someone when I see that they are overwhelmed or they had a chore, something that they really um want to get to, but time hasn't allowed for me to get to, and I'm able to step in and help. But they said that's a good form of self care because when you're helping somebody and doing good for somebody, that reduces the endorphins within you, which puts you in a better headspace, and it's good for your mental health because you're helping somebody. Um, like this next one I'm gonna talk about is really, really um a big one. So, did you realize that taking care of your community is a good way of practicing self care? So, this top thing that I'm about to say is overlooked so much. So, I'm one that I'll if I see something like on the ground or the floor, I would pick it up because it's my responsibility as a community member to keep my environment clean. And not a lot of people really think of that. I it really like I guess one of my pet peeves, like if I'm somewhere like and I see like trash or something on the floor and a dozen people walk past this piece of trash. And I'm like, see, this is why we can't keep our community clean because people are not just taking the time to just say, let me pick it up. I know I didn't make the mess, but let me pick it up and put it away. So, yeah, yeah, sweetie. Sorry, guys. um, but I'll pick it up. But it makes me feel good because I'm contributing and I um care about myself, my environment because I have to walk through this. I have to frequent these certain areas, so it makes me feel good to like pick it up and stuff, right? So yeah, I see how Sylvester say like facts, right, right, right. Yes, yeah. Okay, you said Wonston Cooks. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Um, but yeah, like just like picking up things, I like make me feel good because I'm like, okay, like the dozen people walked over it, but I'm gonna be a good community member because I do not want to have to walk through filth and trash, and I have to be in these common spaces, you know. But they said that's a way of self care because it's good for like your mental health, right? So it's like little things that you don't think about is actually good for your mental health, right? So, um, like when you go back and be mindful of certain things, you know, just think about the little minute things. It's like, wow, I am practicing a form of self care, you know. So, they donating. I am big on donating. It makes me feel good. It definitely makes me feel good when I donate. I consider myself a big giver. Okay. Um, I am a strong believer that blessings comes in all forms. And when you are a grateful or cheerful giver, it comes back to you. You know, kindness come back. Hey, boss life, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. Yes, but they said just donating is a form of self care because it makes you feel good and it's um good for your mental health. So many different things release endorphins in your body. Endorphins are so healthy for you, for your mental clarity and your mental state. You know, I know we're talking about other ways in self care, but just the smallest things are good for self care. So we had already kind of touched on like saying no, learning to say no. Um, I can't stress enough. I cannot stress enough about um, self care being a part of saying no. And for some people, that could be difficult and challenging. Like expressed earlier, that I am one that have a hard time with saying no. But as a good practice of self care, sometimes you have to say no. You have to say no because saying no is not being selfish. Self saying no is a way of being good to yourself. Okay. Um, if you deplete your cup, you know, you can't be good for someone else. So, like they said, like taking care of ourselves is essential. You know, taking care of ourselves is very, very essential. So, I noticed that they have a self care month for those that just came in from June 24th to July 24th. Like, um, because self care is so important, they um definitely recommend that you do something for yourself at least once a day. Now, I've given y'all examples of how I do self care. Just sitting in quiet, self care. Taking time to sit and read your favorite book or something is a form of self care. Taking a walk, a form of self care. Used to be hard to say no, but today it's a different story. I'm practicing no to myself about bad behaviors, and by me doing that, I'm able to say no to other. Yes, 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 yes. Whew. That it starts with you saying no. Like I said, is not a bad thing, right? Saying no is not a bad thing. Um, Saying no can be healthy for you in a lot of ways, right? um I have been learning, that I don't need to say yes to everything, especially when it's going to deplete me. Okay. Some, like I was saying earlier, that you can put so much or pour so much into others and don't pour enough into yourself, and then it plays on to your mental capacity. Like I have been in situations where I neglected myself, not doing things for me or that made me happy, or putting things that I wanted to do to the side and to the back burner. um which is not a form of self-care because I neglected myself, something from me. Um, so I've been really learning to say no a little more, especially if it's something that I want to do for myself, something that is important to me, something that is better for my mental capacity. Um, for those that don't know, I teach children. Okay. I work with children every day. Okay. That within itself, you have to have your mental health intact because days can be very challenging. You're dealing with a lot of different personalities. You're dealing with a lot of big feelings. You're dealing with um, students that have different challenges. And if you don't take care of yourself and your mental and practice your self care frequently, you cannot show up for these students that depend on you. You have all these little people dependent on you. So if you don't do what you need to do for yourself and your mental health is not intact, you cannot show up for these kids. And that's how I go into each day with that mindset. Like, what did I do for me? What self care practice did I do? Okay. So just simple things for me is like a form of self care. Like today, I finished it, but I did my little green smoothie. For me, that's a form of self care because that's something that she said, Charles Johnny, self care. Like it makes me feel good to do my green smoothie. She said her kids would drive you back crazy. Yeah, you sound like my husband. He was like, "Baby, I don't know how you do it." And believe it or not, I don't know either, y'all. I don't know how I do it. When I say I literally have to go to each day with my mind right. Like, let me tell you, my mind has to be right. Okay. So I have to do something that makes me feel good because I can't show up for them if my headspace is not right, okay? Because yeah, I literally go into each day like, what adventure is going to happen today? Because each day is literally an adventure, and I am not exaggerating, okay? Like I was saying earlier on this live, he said, "Yeah, but." Listen, Gio. I have had the moments where I had just want to be like, okay, I give up. I'm done. I gotta go. Okay. I have had the moments plenty of times be like, Lord Jesus, take the wheel, take the wheel, take the wheel. Yes. Yes. Like I said, every day is an adventure. So um after like my long week, so I did do some self-care for myself on Friday because I knew that my weekend was gonna be very busy, because it was gonna be all about hubby yesterday. Okay. So I tried to uh make him feel important and loved and like try to get rid of a lot of distractions because I know my life gets busy, his life gets busy, and sometimes you know you don't sometimes pour into your spouse sometimes like you would really want to. So it's times like that, like when it's birthday and things like that, I try to really like pour into him. So that means sometimes I had to put myself to the side in the back burner. Regardless of what I have going on, I might have like a to-do list. I have a list of chores or something that I want to tackle, but I definitely will put it to the side for that. So but that makes me feel good to be able to like pour into him, and that is a part of self-care. It may not be specifically pertaining to me, but it's releasing like endorphins because I know that I made him feel good and that he really appreciates like the pouring into and to feel special. um yeah. So, but it's a practice that you do something good for yourself. So I am curious to see like what ways do you practice self-care? Like I have been talking about a lot of ways that I do self-care. What are some ways that you do self-care? Like what do you do for yourself? Um do you take time out? Do you take that quiet moment? Yeah, I'm curious to see like things that you do for self-care, you know. So you drop in the chat like is this something that you do, like what brings you joy um for self-care, because self-care comes in different ways and different forms, and if you haven't been big on self-care, doing things for you, now would be a good time to start. I know this is self-care awareness month, September is, but it doesn't need to be a month for you to do self care, but this is where it's recognized like nationally, where it's definitely not recognized nationally for self care. So if you have those like selfish moments where you say and no to a lot of things in situations, it's okay. It is definitely okay to say no. And like I said, they definitely have like a lot of ways to celebrate National Self Care Awareness Month. Um, so like how many people have actually just say, I'm going to drop everything and take a weekend trip? Has anybody like actually uh took time to just say, I'm gonna go and do something for me? Like she says she just watched TV and stay off the computer for 2 days. Or call my sisters, get together. They go get nails done, talk noise. Another's going to church and praise it. Oh yes, yes. Love that. Love that. Yes. Love that. Yeah, sometimes just the little simple things, you know what I mean? Like you said, getting together with your sisters and stuff like that, going to church. I know like church there, like I love to like worship and praise God, okay? I grew up I grew up in church. Like that was such a big part of my upbringing. Being raised by um a mom that was a minister, grandparents that was the bishop of our church and an overseer, having aunts and uncles that um, were part of our praise and worship team. A lot of musicians in the family, but yes, going to church uh, definitely it was big part of my feel good moments, right? So I definitely connect with you with that boss life. Yes. So, but I love that you take that time for you and you practice your self-care in different ways. Like I said, like people don't realize, like you said, just disconnecting like from the computer for a couple days is a way of self-care. You know what I mean? Just reconnecting with family and friends is a way of doing self-care. So like I was talking about prior, just me sitting in silence is a way of self care. Yeah, in church you can just cry, on the way screw strap, and let's go of what I cannot control and give. Absolutely, let go and let God. Let go and let God. I'm always saying that to myself. Let go and let God, because some things are beyond your control. And believe it or not, your stuff has already been ordered. Your steps has already been ordered. So things go the way they're supposed to go. And a lot of times you don't view them in that way. Like say, wow, like why is this happening to me? Like why is God letting this happen? But even the worst times, the worst things in life, like God has a bigger plan. Sometimes we don't see it. And it took a long time for me to realize that God had a bigger and better plan for me, because I, like years and years ago, like I would have those moments of darkness where I always would question and say, well, God, why is this happening to me? Hi, babe. Yeah, I know you doing your thing with the band. Yes. I would have those moments where I would say, God, why is me? Why is this happening to me? Why are you allow this happening to me? Um, um, not a lot of good moments. Wasn't a lot of self care happening years and years and years ago. But I think once I came to that realization that my steps has already been ordered and things happened in my life to make me stronger. God had a different plan. Like certain things had to happen before I can get to something else. And it might not have been the most joyous time, you know. It might not have been something that I would have preferred to go through, but it had to happen to get to a different place in my life. So going through certain experiences, through certain challenges, um, certain not so nice parts of my life has made me stronger and has created my testimony that I could look back and say, how I got over, how God brought me through it, you know, and it's like you take joy and praise in like the little things because you never know, um, what people are going through, you know. As long as I'm doing stuff that makes me happy, I'm good. Even YouTube, I'm good. Working with my team, I'm good. But when I get full, I stop. See, I'm grateful today. I know to stop. Amen. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Working till you feel your cup has run over. Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's like I have come to that point in my life that taking time for me is very critical. Like you said, Jill, doing YouTube like brings you joy. Like this brings me joy. Like being able to talk, share experiences, um give you information. That brings me joy. I love to help people and just share. I haven't gotten to a lot of like aspects of my life and things like that, but little by little I'm sharing like I haven't had like the greatest um walk in the past. I had to go through a lot of things to get me to where I am today, you know, and I thank God I for the experiences. I understand that I had to go through certain challenges to get to where I am today, you know, to be able to share, um, to have that testimony of, God doesn't put more on you than you can bear, and he you know, don't bring you that far to leave you hanging and stuff. So that's why I'm always talking about like, self care, doing stuff for you, because I was at a place where I was not doing a lot of self care. Um, it was more about like pouring into everybody else, you know, not taking time for me, taking time for things that made me happy. Um, Losing myself, for a better lack of words, losing myself. And sometimes you can lose yourself when you are pouring so much of you into others and other things. You can really, really lose yourself. And I did. I lost myself in so many different ways. I lost myself. Things that made me happy and brought me joy took a backseat, took a back burner. I'm not sure if you guys would have been like following on how I talked about like I wanted to be like this famous choreographer back in the day. Like Debbie Allen was like my Shira. I don't know if y'all remember like watching like Fame and stuff. Like I wanted to be like that next Debbie Allen, you know, doing choreography, dance. Like I was in like different like dance groups, things like that, like high school. and stuff. And then you know how you say dream deferred. Um, in my first marriage, I got married like pretty young. Started having children, so it put a lot of my dreams to the back burner and stuff. Um, and it was a lot of pouring into my ex, and then it was a situation where um they needed so much from me that I didn't take time for me. It's hard to be the person I am today. I don't want to hear ever lose myself again. I was a sad case, went to therapy for help. After that, I said, God, I will never leave you again. Amen. Yes, 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 yeah, yeah. I had that moment. I had that moment in my life. It took like a decade out of my life to where it was not about me. Like I had my children, you know, I poured a lot into like raising my children. You know, going to school, doing everything, you know, that I needed to do for me, but like still wasn't happy because I wasn't doing like things that I wanted to do. And I had uh um a ex spouse that pulled a lot of me, like pulled a lot of my energy, pulled a lot of my energy. And wasn't like that joyous, happy person that I was prior to, you know, being in that relationship. So like self-care was really like non-existent in that time of my life. So that's why as I look back and I move forward, I'm like so big on it, so big on it. About taking time for you and not letting someone pull you down into a situation where you definitely lose yourself. And I'm connecting with your statement, Gio, how you said that you would never lose yourself again, and that's where I'm at. That's exactly right. I will never lose myself again. I know what that feels like. I know what that looks like, and I will not lose myself again. And let someone keep me from things that make me happy and bring me joy. Um, that's why I really appreciate my husband now. We've been together for a while, but we both have been um you know in prior marriages where we felt depleted, and it was a lot of pouring into our ex spouses, and we made that conscious decision like early on that we will um love each other, but we will not try to like change each other, what each other likes, what each other wants to do, what each other needs to do for their mental, for their self-care. Like I was saying, like my husband has his band and he gets together with his band. Like yesterday was his birthday. He didn't do anything with the band because it was about him and his celebration to see another year around the sun. So we did celebrating for him. I put things to the side that I probably would do on a Saturday to make it all about him, to celebrate his life, his years around the sun. Okay. So that's people don't know how to make a decision like that or don't want to. Exactly, exactly. So yeah, and that felt good. We both needed that break. I can honestly say we both really needed that break to like break up the monotony, and we just kind of just came to agreement that we need to do more of that to break up our normal routine. So like today, like he's getting together with the band because they have to perfect their craft, stay tight because they do a lot of events and they do have events coming up. I actually shared one of their live events back in the summer, but they always have events coming up. So them getting together is very important. So, but at the same token, my husband knows when to like pull back to make time for us, the same way I know how to pull back and make time for us and, disconnect from outside stuff, things that normally would keep me occupied or be a big distraction. I know how to disconnect from it, you know? So that's my way of saying to those that are in the chat. Sometimes you have to disconnect, especially if you have a significant other. Make that time, make that time, because there's so many different distractions that can um pull you apart, put a wedge in your um relationships and things like that. um Self-care is reconnecting. Like I said earlier in this chat, that self care can be a way of reconnecting, not only with yourself but with others, like being your spouse or something like that, or somebody that's close to you is a way of reconnecting. Because sometimes, not disconnecting from things like being so attached to like social media, being on your phone, stuff like that, just spending hours on the computer. You are really disconnecting from things that should be really important, you know, to you, and someone close around you. Like I always talk about how like my husband is like my best friend. Like he literally is my best friend. Like I really enjoy doing things with him. Really enjoy like traveling with him. Just us taking our date nights, doing like dinner for us, um that's a way of self-care. Like I can't even stress enough like the different ways that you could practice self-care, and it could be things that you don't even think about. It's a moment of self-care because you're doing something for you. You know what I mean? You're doing something that makes you feel good. It's all about something that makes you feel good, whether it's helping someone, doing something for yourself, reconnecting with a loved one, or your spouse, your significant other. It's a form of self-care because you're doing something that makes you feel good. And that's what self-care is in a nutshell: doing something that makes you feel good. It releases that endorphins. It's good for your mental health because when you feel good, you want to do good. So I'm gonna always talk about it. I know, like I've been like really emphasizing and stressing on it now because this is self care month for September. But it doesn't just have to be for this month. Like again, if you have not started doing anything with self care, it is never too late to start. Disconnect, do what you need to do for yourself. Like I want to put y'all down with something. So like I've been on my healthy journey. Now yesterday I had a little little guilt moment because it was your birthday day for hubby, right? But say, sis, I know y'all had a wonderful day yesterday for Chuck's birthday. Have a blessed day today. Rest up at the Brand Predators Day and have a blessed week. God bless you. Yay, hey sis, thanks for coming in. Yes, it was a lot yesterday. I gotta do everything grand, especially on the weekend. But I must admit, this is probably like the first time I didn't take like the whole weekend for celebrating, but we did do a whole day event. It was a whole full day of events yesterday. Um, but it just didn't align to like do a weekend because normally if his birthday falls on like a weekend day, like a Saturday or Sunday, I make it a whole weekend event like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like it's like a whole weekend thing. So I kind of paused this year on the whole weekend, but but I will dedicate a whole day of celebrating for you. So I did like a whole itinerary, you know, from earlier today all the way till late last night. A full day of just celebrating, just us having fun, and it also allows us to reconnect because we disconnected from, our monotony. Hi, Express Baskets. Thanks for coming in. So we disconnected from like social media, just breaking up the monotony, breaking the monotony. So that felt great. That felt amazing. And we are going to do more of that. Do more of that, outside of just wait until like an occasion, to just make a day or a weekend or something of it, or like the last time we like really disconnected from a lot was when we had our anniversary. We did like a anniversary getaway. Of course we do our summer vacation, but that's not really a lot of disconnecting. We have fun, we still do social media and things like that, but when you like can disconnect and have a form of self-care that makes you feel good, makes you feel happy, you know, and reconnect. I mean, that's like probably like one of the biggest forms of self-care. for me. But again, I kind of got off track, but I was about to say like for me self-care, like so I got put down with like these, I don't know if people ever tried these, like these seaweed snacks. Like I like would see them, but I never like really tried them or invested in them for me. But I have really like become a fan of doing this, and for me it makes me feel good to try new things that are healthier for me. I always joke about not not wanting to feel older, even though I am a part of that 50s club. I don't want to feel like I'm in that 50s club and stuff like that. So I have really like stamped it on making healthier choices and doing things that make me feel good and feel better and feel healthy, making better choices. Yesterday, like I definitely indulged a little bit. I definitely indulged a little bit because it was all about celebration. But today I am back on track. I must say, I'm back on track. I did my green smoothie, what makes me feel good, and I feel better when I do that. And I went back to my healthy snacks, which makes me feel good. Because when I feel good, I do better, I do better. Um, so yeah, so I lost my co-host early. She was on earlier, um, talking about different ways that make her feel good and different ways of self-care. I know she did an event earlier for elders, um, all about helping them feel good, self care. Like she said, a lot of meditation, a lot of Reiki, a lot of sound bath healing. If you missed last week, she actually did like a demonstration about sound energy healing. I'm not sure if you are familiar with that, but that is a form of energy healing and stuff. And that's another part of like self care. My sister and I, we are big advocates for self care, um, and doing what you need to do for you. And again, it took me years moving forward to realize and understand the importance of self care and doing things that made me feel good, made me feel good. Okay. And that made me a better version of me because I take that time out. I take that time out to do what I need to do for me. And so I like highly encourage um you to take that time out. Take that time out for you. I know like just in passing that I just see people just going and going and going and don't take that moment to pause. Don't take that moment to pause. Like my husband and I, like we'll talk to like friends and stuff of ours, and you know that really don't take their time. They just say, all I know is work, work, work. Okay. Work, work, work is fine. That's fine. However, working like that without pausing and taking a moment for yourself is going to put you faster to the grave or your demise. Okay. I hate to say that, but it will. Um, Not doing something that um is like healthy for you um definitely causes more like health issues. It definitely causes more health issues. It definitely um makes you like feel depleted. You know how they say how some people like age faster? A lot of it is because they don't take the time out to do what they really need to do for them, taking that time out. And I always commend when I see somebody that's living their best life, even people that are like my elders or something, when I see them living their best life, you know, doing that adventure, you know, taking them extra walk out dancing, like dancing is a way of self-care. Like it releases endorphins. Like who doesn't feel good when they dancing? Like I love to dance. And I talked about how I wanted to be that next Debbie Allen Like for those, like I know I'm aging myself, but yeah, I am part of that 50s club. But that next Debbie Allen that did that choreography and stuff like that, it took me to get into like my mid 30s to actually get back into what I loved. And that was like um dancing, being part of a dance group, performing on stage, things like that. Those things, just being able to dance, like release something inside me that brought me so much joy, brought me so much joy. So, you might think like the simple thing is not a form of self-care. That is so not true. That is so not true. Simple thing is a way of self-care, doing something for you, doing something that makes you feel healthy, that makes you feel good, makes you want to be better, and makes you want to continue. Because once you start doing something that makes you feel good, you want to continue to do it. Leave now, but have enjoyed chatting with you. Love you. Thanks so much for coming in, Drio. Appreciate you. Have a good rest of the day. Um, yeah, but just doing little things makes you will make you feel better. I promise you. I promise you. You know, so we can start now from today if you haven't been doing it. Um, just write little notes of gratitude. Think of something that you are grateful for. Whether somebody smiled at you today, somebody held the door before you. You could have held the door open for somebody, a random act of kindness, because that releases endorphins in you as well. Just doing something kind for somebody. You know, self care ties into mental health. I cannot stress that enough. Y'all might get tired of me beating in your head, but like little things that you think are not a part of self care are a part of self care. Being good to yourself, being good to others, random acts of kindness. Okay, just thinking, being grateful for little things. Like right now, I am grateful for you all. I'm grateful that you took time out of your Sunday to join me on this live. You could have been doing anything else today, but you took time to join me for this live and hear what I had to say and talk about today. Like I appreciate that and I am grateful for you. I am grateful for you. You know, so um again, practice that self-care, y'all. Take joy in the little moments, in the little things. Take joy in things that is going to make you happy. Take that time out for you. Just the little smallest things you will see will create something inside of you to make you want to continue. Okay? Um, Taking that time for self-care helps you live longer. Like it's just so many different things that create inside of you just for taking time for you doing things that you need to do. And just learn to say no. Learning to say no, learning to disconnect from the world sometimes is the best way to practice self-care. And I know if it's ladies in here, I know men too. Like you want to take that time, just let somebody pamper you. You know, go get that mani, go get that petty. Just get a nice massage. Like when I say these shoulders be tense, okay. Like it's been times I've come home and I'm like, hubby, I need you to massage my shoulders or your back. That's self care, and I know it makes them feel good to be able to provide some kind of self care for me, something that's going to help me feel better. Okay, but I hope that you guys have like learned something from today. If you have not been doing something for you, um, and you were not clear on self care and different types of self care, I hope you have a better understanding of what self care is and ways you can practice self care. And if you have not done something for you today, do something for you. That's a form of self care, even if you want to take a moment in silence. Okay? Do something for you. Love you. Disconnect. give yourself that mental therapy, that mental health clarity that you need. Because if you do not take care of you, you cannot be there for others. You cannot pour into others if you are totally depleted. And make it a practice not to deplete yourself pouring into others if your cup is not already full. Okay? So that was my spiel in honor of National Self Care Awareness Month. So I hope that you guys will tune in for us next Sunday for our Sister Talk Live. I apologize that I lost my co-host early, but like I said, she was doing an event earlier in the day, helping people, which she loves to do. I love to do. Okay, but we are grateful for you, and until next time, next Sunday, 3 o'clock. Join us for Sister Talk Live, and you never know what we're going to talk about. But until then, have a great, great rest of your day and a wonderful week. Okay? I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.